Yep.
Photos, videos.
We have some of all of the above.
All right. Awesome. This is Bryan Gill. He is half of Beehive Brothers Hot Sauce Company, based out of Big Sky, Montana. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks
Bryan.
for having me here.
Sorry that we're missing your cohort. I assume
calls,
is this your actual brother, or are you just like marketing relationship?
He is my actual brother. He's my younger brother, 3 years younger.
Oh, nice.
He moved to Big Sky a year before me, and then I was living in Vermont at the time, and I was seeing my younger brother skiing bigger mountains than I was, and it didn't seem fair or right, so I had to move to Big Sky too.
Nice.
I
I'm
apologize.
trying to get my sister to move out here. Love it. I'm not sure we could be in business together though. We're best friends. I don't know about you guys. Like, you're
And
probably,
we are certainly.
right. Yeah, like we could be twins because we sort of like have these moments where she'll call and she's like, "Hey, are you doing all right? I'm having some weird stuff coming through the pipeline." We call it the pipeline.
Yeah.
But sure enough, I'll be like, "Yeah, I had this crazy day," and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, working with her actually it'd probably be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of fun, especially if we were making something that went out to people that they enjoyed. Like, I get that. That would be fun.
I think our dynamic works really well together. I have a lot of big idea visions, and Jeff is more practical. He grounds me a lot. I have visions of let's go huge right now, immediately, and he's like, well, let's dial back and do it organically and slowly. He's an accountant
he's
by
the
trade,
accountant. Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
So he understands numbers and that side of our business, and definitely grounds me on the vision.
But you're the
yin to your yang.
creative.
Absolutely.
You're the visionary. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you're
Like
the right
that.
person for
Listen,
us to talk to.
you can go Frank's Red Hot tomorrow if you want to. Not that has any comparison to your sauces.
It is a powder day. I know you and your brother are both big snowboarders. So
We are.
I apologize for taking you away from the
Thank
mountain.
you.
We can miss one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good pat. Thanks for being here.
Of course.
So
I'm going to try to make it worth your while, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm going to try and cut him off as much as possible.
Can I unveil what we're doing?
If you want to.
We got to
He's doing
try the
this to me
sauce,
again.
right?
I
This
think
time I
so.
had a big meal beforehand, and I'm not car sick. He made me do a tasting of like random pickled things in one of our things, and I had it was the windiest, craziest trip when I was trying to get work done. So I got there, and he was like, "Here, have this like pickled nastiness," and I was like, "No, not the strong enough."
Michelle
But this
wanted us
I'm
to
excited
do
about.
like a Hot Ones style interview, but we can't just rip off Hot Ones. So we are going to do
Just because I like wings.
hot sauce Sundaes. Okay? We got our vanilla ice cream.
Oh, I love
And we
vanilla
do
ice cream.
we have an overhead camera for
Okay.
the first time.
Local ice cream.
How about
Okay.
a strawberry cheesecake ice cream?
Okay.
And obligatory huckleberry frozen
course.
yogurt.
Nice.
We have
nice.
bowls, we have scoops, we have spoons, and we have maraschino cherries. So Michelle's going to ask the next question, and as we talk, we will build our sundaes and try your hot sauces on them.
Love
I
it.
did not know that their strawberry cheesecake doesn't actually have the cake part in it, and then I can eat it. I have a stupid wheat allergy, and it's not a made-up one. It's like a real stupid one. Yeah, because I used to make fun of people that were allergic to gluten, and so that's my lot in life. But anyway, oh my gosh, thank you.
Isn't this fun?
I'm excited.
Hot
I
sauce
love
sundaes.
sweets.
Here we go.
I love it.
All right, so
Ask
you've
away.
been doing this for 10 years. Yes.
Yep.
Are you guys going to be in any hot sauce magazines anytime soon? Which I'm finding out is a real thing. Like,
So we don't have any plans of that, but
Okay.
I think we'd love to, obviously.
Right. Okay. After this, obviously.
right.
Okay. So yeah, you guys, what started this adventure? Were you guys just like hot sauce connoisseurs initially?
So what really started this adventure was a vision I had when I still lived in Vermont. So the vision started in around 2012 with a couple of friends that I was living with. I was working on a farm. We were all very into local agriculture, locally sourced products and all of that. So our initial big brain vision was to do a farm-to-table food truck where we made all of our own condiments. We dialed it back, and we just started by creating condiments. We did a line of hot sauce, barbecue sauce, ketchup. We found very quickly that Heinz has cornered the market for ketchup no matter what their quality is. There's not particularly room for craft ketchup.
Okay.
People love craft hot sauce, though.
Yeah.
People have shelves of it. There's stores dedicated to it. People
Yes.
love small brand hot sauce.
You're with the right people, though. Like, you should look at our shelves. My sons, like, for their stocking stuffers at Christmas, they'll get different hot sauces.
See, that's
They
exactly what
love
I'm
it.
talking about.
Yeah.
And
They
so,
got like the sauces of the world once, which actually not as good as like these local sauces. But
Nice.
yeah.
What are we
It's best to,
trying
like,
with the
find
strawberry
crafting.
cheesecake, you think?
Oh, what is our tasting?
ooh,
I think we got to do this. This is their golden
I think
time
we
to
I
do
think we
this.
start with a Fresno on that.
Fresno, okay.
Wait, are we all three sampling it like at a restaurant? Okay.
You guys
Like
make
when
your
we
own.
split a dessert.
I'm hungry.
Well, see, I had lunch and I said, "Hey, should you eat lunch?" and you're
thank
like,
you.
"No." Is this why? Are you having ice cream for lunch?
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
Gilmore girling it? Okay, fine.
And so when I had initially started this company, we were actually growing all of our own peppers, which was a huge undertaking.
Right. Like, how many peppers would you say go into one bottle of hot sauce?
This is a good question.
It's okay if you don't know it. Because, like, I learned that last night, Joe and I were like, oh, we're going to have apple trees in our yard, and it's 20 pounds of apple
To make a gallon.
to make a gallon of cider. I was like, good God.
Yep. So I don't know if I have the answer to that.
That's fine. Yeah.
But quite a few go into each bottle
Quite a
for
few.
sure.
Okay. Can you walk us through the process?
That's interesting. That is confusing from a sensory standpoint.
Sure.
I'm
You
not
want to
gonna
try
use-
this?
I'm not going to use your spoon.
You may.
Listen, do you want me to scoop yours, or are you just going to watch us try this?
You
stuff?
can also just try out of my bowl.
I'll scoop some
No
in a minute.
shame. All right.
Hold on. Sorry, that looks...
Okay. Back to what you were saying. Sorry. We're
So
interrupting you.
that's fine. We dialed back when I moved to Montana. Jeff and I rebranded our company.
What was it before?
It was called Vermont Homegrown Sauce.
Vermont homegrown sauce. Okay.
Obviously, that wasn't going to work here.
Out-of-towners.
Right. We renamed it Beehive Brothers because Beehive was, that's our favorite backcountry area. Not to blow that up any more than it already is.
No, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, nothing to see there, guys. We also like alliteration as a literary term, so hence the Beehive Brothers.
There we go.
And so we would love to at some point buy some land and go full on and grow our own peppers again. That's kind of in the pipeline eventually, but right now we're working with small farms in Montana, particularly Harlequin Organic Produce. They grow most of our peppers for us.
Nice. Where are they located out of?
They're in Arley.
Okay.
And they're a great partner. So they were put in touch with us by Western Montana Growers Co-op, who we had started working with. They're kind of a small organization that works with a lot of local farmers, a lot of local producers on both ends. So they will also sell our product. They've gotten us into the Whole Foods in Bozeman.
Oh, nice.
But Harlequin Organic Produce is awesome. The fact
Have
that
I seen you at Town and Country?
yes.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I feel like, and actually, yeah, I've seen you at Town and Country.
And so Harlequin is amazing because they've gone way above and beyond. The fact that they can grow habaneros in Montana at all is incredible. It's such a long season, typically hot weather crop, but they've built heated greenhouses for chili pepper production.
And you're buying a lot.
We're buying a lot, which is why I think they are extremely happy to work with us.
Like hundreds of pounds?
Hundreds of pounds, yeah.
Okay.
Before you guys started working together, did they grow that many peppers, or have you
No.
upped their production?
They were
Okay.
hardly growing any peppers.
Okay.
So this has been a learning process for them.
Yeah.
We're going to try the cayenne.
Let's
if
see.
That's all right with
of
you.
course. And
Whoa, that's a lot. Which one's going to light me up? Habanero?
Habanero.
Okay. Cayenne, looking forward to this.
You know, I don't even think I fed you cake at our wedding. We had a very non-traditional. Well, actually, at our wedding, there was
Oh.
like 5 people there.
That's very different than the Fresno.
it
Is
is,
it?
isn't it?
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Interesting. I like that. It's got a good salt content to it.
Just
nice.
To be the right one here, I would have preferred wings, but
Couldn't do wings. The
I think
nice
wings
thing-
traditionally is a more, normal food for hot sauce than ice cream, but
you.
hey.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks,
Here's
Brian.
the thing, though.
We're not anything but normal.
with wings, you have the very hot wing, your mouth is on fire, and then you're like, oh, I need some milk to cool this down.
That's interesting. You've already
Baked
got
in.
the milk built in.
It's a one-stop shop right here. This is good.
We're just trying to corner a new market.
I like that your peppers are all grown in Montana because that means you're tariff-proof.
Good point.
He could, though, outsource to your parents who love to grow ghost peppers.
That's true.
They send us with like buckets of ghost peppers.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the testing process like to figure out, are you starting with small batches here? Yes.
So we started with very small batches.
Okay.
And then, most off seasons, Jeff will get a handful of different peppers, and that's where the Fresno came in. Most of these are older outside of the green Serrano and the Fresno. Fresno is very new. And Harlequin had grown a small amount of those one year. And so they sent us some just for samples towards the end of the season. We did some real small test batches. And everyone loved that flavor. So we were like, all right, let's introduce it.
Yeah.
Who is everyone? Who's on your testing committee?
Good question. It's mostly, small circle of friends, family, and
Us, no.
now you guys.
Yeah.
They aren't professional pepper testers. They're just your normal consumer.
The people who are going to be buying and eating it.
Yeah. How are Montanans reacting to your sauces? I don't think of us as being necessarily a very adventurous group of eaters.
Sure.
What? Cow balls.
I guess if you're talking about different parts of the animal, yes,
Right.
but not necessarily
as far as
the
spice,
right?
Yeah. Well, so I think one of the beauties of our product is even up to the habanero, it's not just hot for the sake of hot, and that's something that we were very deliberate about. We wanted flavor in all of our hot sauces. We wanted people to be able to enjoy the food they were eating and enhance it rather than blind it.
Okay.
And that's something that we think we achieved.
You go a little bit more subtle.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm
Add a
gonna
little
try
garlic in there.
the ripe Serrano on huckleberry.
And we also
does
keep
that
our
get
recipe very simple. We want the different flavors, and like you just noticed, the Fresno versus the red Serrano, the Fresno versus the Cayenne were different flavors, even though they're similar color, similar, even similar heat levels. Each chili is very differently flavored, and so we want each of them to just speak for themselves and not hide it with too many additives. Most of our hot sauces outside of the habanero are literally just chili peppers, vinegar, garlic, salt, and then into the habanero we add a little bit of lime juice to kind of enhance that tropical flavor, and a little bit of carrots and onions to cut the heat back a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay.
I've actually started adding some pureed carrots to my spaghetti sauce. I read that somewhere, and it gives it a nice mellow flavor.
I've not
Cuts
heard
the acid.
pureed carrot. Well, I've heard just putting in a carrot while you're cooking it, and I've done that in the past.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I'll just
a
like
good
blend up
tip.
some carrot, and it's part of the sauce too. Plus, like my kids don't even know like they're eating vegetables that we're unaware of. So, do you remember your first batch of hot sauce?
Making a mess.
Oh,
Michelle.
yeah.
Yes.
And I actually have a funny story from some of the first couple test batches of hot sauce.
I'd love
So
to
this
hear it.
was in Vermont. We had grown a bunch of chili peppers that year. We had harvested a whole bunch, and we're just making small test batches. The first couple came out great. The jalapeno was delicious. And then we got to testing the habanero one, and we basically bear sprayed out our roommate upstairs. Oh, wow. We were in just our home kitchen under a cottage industry law, and we were doing super small batch, but he comes barging out
Just
of his
by
room.
boiling it or cooking it? How?
Correct.
Okay.
We
Well,
aerosolized.
think about it when we like saute stuff.
Totally. Yeah.
And it just spread throughout the entire house. And this guy came out of his room, door was closed. He's like, I can't breathe up here. What are you guys doing? Like, oh, Andy, come try our habanero hot sauce.
I'm getting a big old whiff of it right now.
That's funny. Yeah, I know. I've noticed that. Yeah.
I've done the thing before when I'm cooking hot peppers, and it gets on my fingers, under the fingernail,
Oh
and
my
then in
God.
the eyes, other certain sensitive
yeah.
parts of the
I'm
body.
still
Yep.
looking to
Has
find-
this happened to you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Tell
And
me about
you would
it.
think I'd learn, but I don't.
Just over and over again.
Yeah, and even when
you're in the moment. Yeah.
Right. When you do this many batches in a day, 700 bottles we might fill in a day. Even if
Because you're doing it by hand. This is not a machine.
So we have a machine.
Right? You do have a machine. Okay.
We have it's an air compressed powered machine. Wow. We have a big, huge cook kettle where we cook everything in. We bring it up to temperature, and then we have basically a system where it suctions out 5 ounces at a time. We have a foot pedal where we press, and then the air compressor shoots it out, shoots it down into the bottle. We cap, invert, which is part of our process that we've been given by Utah State.
How many do you make? How many batches do you make at a time? Like how many bottles? Like when you're doing like a batch of, say, cayenne hot sauce, like how many do you put out in one?
A batch comes out to about 500.
Wow, cool.
And in doing this, you do have to handle the peppers
right
along the way as well. It's not, the machine is not just doing everything.
Not even close.
Okay.
Is it at all like being a beekeeper where like eventually you get used to the sting, or no? It's always going to burn?
I mean, it gets better, I guess, but
Okay.
if you get a habanero hot sauce in your eye, there's no getting used to that.
You're just
Yeah.
toast.
Yep.
I still remember the great jalapeno eye moment of like before we were married, 2002 or something like that. Yeah, like he was dumping milk into his face.
It might have been Serrano. It might not have even been
It was not
jalapeno, but it was rough. Yeah.
It is rough. I mean, I was blending one year and I got a face full of habanero, and I thought I blinded myself. I was out in the parking lot crying. The guy from the business next door was outside, like, "Hey man, are you okay?" Not really.
No.
So
one day I will be.
Right.
That day is not today. All right, I'm going to go for habanero now.
Go for habanero.
And real quick, so even if you're wearing gloves throughout this process, the habanero can kind of seep through those gloves.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we break off the tops of all of our peppers by hand. We wash them by hand, and then we have a food processor that we blend them all through first, and then put them into the big cook kettle and cook for a while.
Okay.
Okay, wait.
You're getting something off that one?
I think
The habanero?
I don't mind. Maybe it's the strawberry, but like this is better with some hot sauce. I will say all of these hot sauces would taste really good on top of like a goat cheese.
Oh yeah.
Because they're so like they're not like they don't burn your socks off, but like the flavor profile is so good. Like you really do. You've nailed.
And
like,
the habanero is much fruitier than the other ones, which is really nice on ice cream.
Oh, because it has some carrots.
But also
exactly, and a little bit of lime juice.
It's certainly hot.
Yes. Oh yeah, I mean it's still a habanero hot sauce.
I'm feeling that one. I'm gonna get some sweaty neck happening soon. Michelle's gonna be embarrassed.
It's fine. I never get embarrassed by you. It's been years. Last night when we went to go have ciders at Longhorn. Did I say? Yeah, Longhorn Cider. Lockhorn. God, see, at Lockhorn Cider, I got the habanero drink, and he couldn't handle it. But I was like,
habanero cider. A lot of people love it.
It sounds good.
Yeah, no, you'd like it. Maybe you guys can do like some kind of pairing one night.
Right.
So what is out of all the hot sauces, Brian? What is your favorite?
Need more.
My favorite's the Fresno.
Fresno.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which is very good.
I think that's the highest flavor profile for me. It's just oomph.
What are you putting it on?
I put it on everything.
Everything.
But I love it on eggs. A bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich with a Fresno. That's so good. Tacos, obviously.
Yes.
Talk about the process of getting your hot sauce into different establishments. I know you're like Yeti Dogs and the Shedhorn Grill, various places around town. You said Whole Foods.
Yep.
Are you just carrying it into people and saying, hey, try this?
So this is a great question. It started off that way. That's exactly how it started. We just show up with samples. At first, we didn't even have a sell list of pricing for stores. We just show up and try and sell our hot sauce. The smaller stores were really receptive. Town and Country picked it up really quickly. Yeti Dogs was our first client. So we've got, soft spot in our hearts for Yeti Dogs.
Yeah.
And really, that's how it all started. We'd just show up with samples and a business card and drop it off. And hope for the best. And a lot of stores picked us up. And then, slowly we started working with a couple of distributors. And so we started working with Quality Foods out of Four Corners and also Western Montana Growers Co-op out of Missoula. And so once we started working with them, that process became a lot easier. It became a lot of larger grocery stores particularly aren't interested in a small company just showing up with samples. They need a distribution network. They need to know how they're going to buy it. They need to know that one of their purveyors is going to deliver it for them. And so starting with these two companies has really broadened our reach across the state of Montana. Now we're really across the state. And about a month and a half, 2 months ago, we started working with a sales broker out of Washington. And so the goal with them is now to broaden our reach even further. We'd like to push into the Pacific Northwest, Idaho, Wyoming, south into Utah and Colorado eventually.
Expand that empire.
Yeah, exactly.
And Beehive Brothers means something to people in this area. How do you translate that to people who are not in, like Gallatin Valley?
It's a really good question. I don't know if the name needs to mean anything to anyone outside of here. It could just be a creative, beautiful name with a beautiful mountain backdrop, and people don't have to know that it's Beehive Basin or specifics of why it's called that. It's actually surprisingly randomly nice branding for Utah as the Beehive State. They might not even know.
Totally true.
Exactly. They'd be like, it's totally a Utah thing.
How do you like that one?
I like it. I put it on a cracker.
Oh,
I really wanted
what are
to
you
taste
doing?
the flavors of the hot sauce. You're
That's
ruining
more
it.
my style.
Hot sauce Sunday. There's no room for crackers in hot sauce Sunday.
Ruining my life over here. No, I just really wanted to taste the hot sauces. I like the Serrano. It's got some heat, but it's such a different flavor.
All right, lay it on me.
Yeah, that has that more like
My mouth is on
earthy,
fire.
verde green
Yes, it totally
flavor
the verde.
profile
Oh,
to
yeah.
it.
It does have a verde flavor. That's what I was going for.
Love
Yeah.
that. And is this the one that you said had lime in it?
No,
Serrano?
that's the habanero.
Okay. Oh, this is fun. But I'm regretting. It's like I get the comedy of it, but I'm having to eat a
I
lot
had
of
one
ice cream with
accidental
hot sauce.
mixture with it was the huckleberry. The huckleberry goes well with nothing. Probably because it's frozen yogurt, I guess. I don't know. But yeah,
I was
put it to
hoping
the
it
side.
would, that we would discover some wonderful complementary flavor situation, but we're not
like
yet.
black sesame ice cream. Or
That's
something
why I
like
let
that.
you guys try this style first.
Thank you.
I get it.
So, okay, if I were a person that had grown a bunch of peppers in my yard or something like that, and I wanted just to make like a pot of it at home or something,
Yeah.
like you guys began,
Totally.
how would I do that?
So what I would do is
Not saying we were going to compete with you at all.
Of course.
Nobody has the time to do this.
so I
No interest.
I would take your peppers and really just mix them with vinegar, whatever seasonings you decide you want to add to that. But we keep
with
it
the seeds?
Oh
Seeds
yeah.
and all? Okay.
Yep. We like to keep the seeds in because,
'Cause it does this?
Yeah, exactly.
Fine, I'm
Yeah.
fine.
It keeps the heat in.
Fine,
You
I'm a little
know,
embarrassed. It's
I think if you're going anything hotter than a habanero, if you're starting to go into the ghost chili realm, woo, if you're keeping the seeds, those are going to be hot. But some people, that's what some people are looking for.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
if that's what you're going for, we keep the seeds in. We just blend it until, you can still see some of the seeds
Totally.
for sure, but
Yeah.
quite a few of them just get processed into the sauce.
I like that. I like the seeds in there. So do that. Mix it with vinegar, and then
Garlic, salt, cook for an hour.
Needs to cook down, basically.
Yeah, you want your peppers softening. You should probably food process your peppers first. We found that we kind of destroyed some stick blenders just throwing them in whole, letting them soften, and then trying to blast it with that.
Okay.
We keep it simple. We don't add anything more than that.
nice.
You can
It
if you
doesn't
want.
need preservatives.
No.
That's so
the
great.
vinegar preserves it.
Right.
Okay.
And so our process, we have to keep our pH at a certain level. And so we bring it up to 185 degrees and pH is at a certain level. If we meet all of these criteria, then our bottles are going to be shelf stable for a year plus.
Yeah.
So the temperature and pH kill the spores and the bacteria of everything.
Okay. That's awesome.
And we had to go through a process authority. So we sent our process in, our ingredient list, our samples. They ran tests of pH and all of that, and then came back and gave us a process and critical points we have to meet in order to guarantee that our product is going to be safe.
Nice. So as they are shelf stable, what shelves in the area can I find your hot sauce?
Need an exhaustive list.
All of the town and countries.
Okay.
The co-ops, Rosars,
Nice.
Whole
listening?
Foods.
Yes.
In Big Sky, we are in the Hungry Moose and Roxy's.
Two main stores, yeah.
Pretty much.
But not the country market?
I know.
Tell us more.
You
They're doing
know.
their best, yeah.
Totally.
You
I love
mentioned
that
the sort of uber hot peppers once you get beyond habanero. Do you have plans for other products like in the future? You're doing testing on now. What, as we expand the empire, what will the additional offerings be, Bryan?
So we do have plans for other offerings. Right now, there's nothing that's really in the works immediately. We'd love to ramp up one level higher than habanero, probably on the ghost pepper level or somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yes.
And then even
Ask our in-laws. They will ship you some ghost peppers.
nice.
Homegrown in Alabama.
My brother did I think it was a ghost pepper huckleberry sauce one year.
Ooh.
That was just real small batch, and we kept for ourselves. It was a little bit too hot for me, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to this, even though I make hot sauce.
Yeah. That'll knock your
Pepper
socks off, though.
Kick your butt. For sure. Trying
but yeah.
jalapeno now.
Nice.
I tried the jalapeno
That's our
on a
most
cracker.
mild.
I like it. It's got kick, though. Still has kick.
Oh yeah.
What about jerky?
Jerky? What do you mean?
You guys gonna do some like hot jerky?
Probably
point?
not. I
Okay.
think we're keeping it simple. We're just a hot sauce company now.
When you're ready to do
Sometimes
jerky,
you
you
have
come
questions
talk
and
to
I
me.
just don't know where they come from.
I like the jalapeno. Jalapeno's a little sour.
Yeah,
That's nice.
It's. I think that one has that vinegariness that comes out. It's got no more vinegar, but for some reason that flavor comes out in the jalapeno more.
This would go really well on collard greens.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How is it on? You know what I think it's good on? Ice cream.
Joe Borden, you heard it here. You're going to hear something else later, I'm sure.
It's fine. We don't need to get into all
Your
that.
stomach making. Are you in the farmers markets?
So that's actually where we got our start.
Right.
Was the Big Sky Farmers Market.
Yeah.
We don't do farmers markets anymore.
A lot of work.
It's a ton of work.
Yeah.
I think early on it was really, really important for, to get our brand out there, especially locally.
Yeah.
And it was huge. But I think we're at a point now where we want to grow and we want to work with larger distributors and get into grocery store chains. So we're hoping to use our Whole Foods as a launching point to other Whole Foods in the region.
The
Entree.
gateway store.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then we also have been in talks with Sprouts further south in Utah.
Yeah, I like
the
Sprouts.
sales. I did too when I lived down there. Our sales broker out of Washington, one of the agents for them is working directly with Sprouts, and so hopefully that'll be on our horizon soon. But our vision is more larger scale. So larger scale production, larger scale sales. Even if we have to take a cut in what we make per bottle,
Right.
it just makes sense for growth. Farmers market was great for exposure, but
Right.
we're at a point where our energy can be better spent growing the brand in bigger ways. And that's just where we're at, 10 years in.
And thank you for putting your stuff in glass bottles. There's another hot sauce that I like called Yellowbird. Have you ever heard of them?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, they put all their stuff in plastic.
I know.
And it's such a bummer because I just don't want to buy it because I'm just like, But
I think hot
this
sauce has to be in a glass
It
bottle.
does because
it is
you don't want
important.
it in something. Yeah, you don't want it in something that could like change the flavor profile
Right.
at all or anything like
The
that.
plastic
Like,
makes me nervous with that much spice and acid that you're leaching something off of the plastic.
Totally.
I'm sorry, I just don't know.
Oh, we're with you. We're with you on that one. But yeah, I
You
mean,
designed your sort of business approach so that you could be done by December with the majority of the work so that
Correct.
you guys can snowboard.
That's the vision.
Are you going to keep with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Well, if we're
Yeah.
if we're
Isn't that cool?
source,
Make
if
life
we're
fit
sourcing
to your
locally,
dream.
we kind of have to.
Yeah.
You know, pepper production season with the heated greenhouses is done by the middle or end of November in Montana. So we do our production from August, early August, maybe late July some years, until middle or end of November. We try to label all of our product the same weekend we've produced it, and so then we just have pallets of hot sauce in the warehouse where the vision is we just go down, we get our orders from our distributors, and we go down and set up pallets for them, and then they bring it across the region. And
Do you have a particular car with like your logo on it that is making deliveries?
no,
Is that the dream?
not really.
Across the
You
state.
don't want to get hijacked.
Right?
You're just
No,
advertising.
you're going to get
criminals.
pirates looking for us and whatnot.
Yeah, I know. Just the people.
Yeah. I don't have any more questions. Do you have any more questions, Michelle?
I don't, but I am actually proud of him for not having to try the ice cream situation.
He's
We
going to have to
goat
try a
cheese.
cherry because we're going to end this with a cherry cheers. Grab a cherry. These have stems. I'm trying not
I
to
got
make
the
a
short
mess.
stem. What does that mean?
I got the real short
Did
one.
I lose?
Cherry cheers.
Cherry cheers, whatever.
All right. On this hot sauce Sunday
Thank you for coming by.
edition
Thanks
of
for
Hoary
having me,
Marmot.
guys.
Thank you so much, Brian. This has been great. All right.
And now you have some more hot sauce for your collection.
We're going to
I
keep
just
going.
put a ton of ice cream in my cup without hot sauce.